Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Powertime Practice here on Saturday, February 20th, 2021. My name is Sucharita. For those of you who don't know me, wishing you all a very warm welcome. It is always an honor and a pleasure to be of service and support to all the devotees and students and people who are passing through Pillai Center and Astroved and discovering how blessed they are when they stumble across these teachings with Dr. Pillai and Pillai Center, Astroved Services. This is something that is food for our soul. So we want to make sure that our hunger is satisfied and our thirst is quenched in terms of divine blessings. So it's really a great time coming up. This week we have Masi Magam is a day to magnify abundance, royalty consciousness, and ancestral blessings. So to experience the transformational energy of Lord Shiva, to remove painful karma and renew your life. So who wouldn't want that? So what is our karma? Our karma is that which we are living in this moment right now, and what we have lived in our life up until this point and in previous lifetimes, also in future lifetimes. So karma is a bit complex. It's not complicated, it's complex. It has many facets, just like we are multidimensional. We have many facets to the way we express ourselves at the level of the body, the mind, the soul, our speech, the way we appear to ourselves and others, the way we see ourselves and others, and also what we do, our actions. And it begins with our thoughts. So who or what contributes to what we think and then how we act? Well, it can be the planets, it can be the stars, it can be previous lifetimes where we carry this karmic baggage and we try to figure it out. And also it can be coming from our ancestors. So this Masi Magam, this huge celebration that's coming up on the full moon, and it is going to be on, let me see what the date is here. I'm going to pull up my Astroved calendar. So the date is going to be the 26th of February, which is next Friday in Eastern Standard Time. So it's a full moon that coincides with Maga Star. So this is a powerful time to connect with the ancestors, and the ancestors are also contributing to our karma. And even though we don't know that we are suffering due to the mistakes that they made, the curses that were against them, and perhaps in many generations, many lifetimes, we have incarnated into the same gene pool. And then we are trying to figure out how to absolve ourselves of the sins of the father, the forefathers, the stuck in spiritual realms where they're not experiencing that royalty consciousness. Maybe they suffered a lot in their lifetimes. And we're talking about ancestors being those people who have passed away. They're no more, they're dead. They can be your grandparents. They can be on the mother side of the family, the father side of the family, can be the great-grandparents, the great-great-grandparents, even up to about 6 or 7 generations of people who have passed away. And it can be from either side of the family. You can also be people who are aunts and uncles and great aunts and uncles and great great aunts and uncles and so on. So it's anyone who has passed, including cousins or children who have passed away, can be brothers or sisters. So it's not just the direct ancestors from your parents' side, so their parents and then those parents' parents. It is anyone who has passed away who is your relative. Now, you may not know who your relative is because you were adopted, or maybe your parents passed away and they gave you away. So you don't know who they are. You don't know who your biological ancestors are, even your biological relatives who are still alive. So that's okay. The ancestors will ping you from your genes, and that's what makes us to think thoughts. And when we think thoughts, then we start to take actions. And even though our mind is saying, why am I thinking those thoughts? Why am I acting like my mother or my father? And I swore I would never be like that. How many of us have done that? Or your kids. Oh my God, I can't believe my kids are the way they are. And yet you reflect on your life and you go, oh yeah, I was like that. Oh, my father or mother was like that, or brothers or sisters. So the genes that we share, the biological genes that we share, impress upon our body, mind, and soul, and they pump this energy that makes us to think in certain ways. So we have to get rid of the thoughts that are no longer serving us, and then to grab on to thoughts that are going to make our life to be more fulfilling, more rewarding. So this power time is Magga during the Masi month. The Magga star has great potential, Dr. Pillai says, both in material and spiritual realms. Masi Magga is a great time to receive blessings from enlightened souls and also from your own ancestors. So your ancestors, your biological ancestors, remember, ancestors are people who have passed away, and they are related to you in some way or another, biologically or maybe familially. That you were born into that, or you were born and then you got adopted into another family, or you somehow were raised by others who were not part of your gene pool, your biological gene pool. You could also have ancestors who you were divorced from, or your parents were divorced from them and they were not in your bloodline, but through marriage. So it can be ancestors who are children, again, people who have died from accidents and they didn't live a long life, or a disease struck them at an earlier age and they didn't live to old age. So anyone who has passed away can be really restless if they haven't lived out a full life. So they can be affecting your life. Maybe you feel really immature, or maybe you feel like you're naive, or you just can't get it together, and you just can't figure out all the responsibilities that you have. It could be those ancestors that are holding you back from making wise decisions about your finances, relationships, your health, and so on. So it's like you never grew up, and yet you feel like you are, struggling with how to overcome all these challenges. So it will raise your self-esteem when you honor these ancestors, these restless souls, even those souls who have departed through miscarriages. So they were miscarried, they weren't born, or they were stillborn. So they were born dead, or they were aborted. So these souls are going to be clinging on to your aura and whispering, if not yelling, in your ear, and creating havoc. So not to worry so much. It's not about right or wrong. It's about correction. So Masi Magam is a day to magnify royalty consciousness, abundance, and ancestral blessings. So we've shared, as Dr. Pillai has taught us, that we can practice mantras, we can meditate, we can be doing really great things, we can be charitable, we can be doing all these fabulous things and being fabulous people. And yet, why can we not get a breakthrough in all the areas of our life? Because we need to get our ancestors' blessings. Let me repeat that. We need to get our ancestors' blessings in order for all of those spiritual practices, those sadhanas, those times where we've gone on pilgrimages and we've prayed and we've done so many mantras and prayers and and meditations and courses and how to be spiritual. And we've been charitable and we've been so good. And yet we haven't been able to appease the ancestors. We haven't been able to get their blessings. And why is that? Because they are stuck. So we know that if we use this spiritual science, this high tech, these tools, and we tap into the energy of the spiritual realm where those ancestors are stuck, my goodness, when they get unstuck, then they will be able to sit on the throne in heavenly realms. And then that will raise our vibration because we will feel that royalty consciousness, high self-esteem. You may not sit on a throne in this lifetime. You may not be crowned as a king or a queen or a prince or a princess, or even a leader in business or in your family and so on, but you will feel that high self-esteem. You will respect others and people will respect you. You will feel this strength inside of you, this wisdom, this knowledge, this energy, this power or empowerment to do the things that you want to do. You'll be able to just snap your fingers and everything will be there. And that's what we want to be able to do, is to get the blessings, to have that backing, to lift us up, and to be able to do the things that we need to do. That's the true wealth, is spiritual wealth. So money comes and goes, relationships come and go, health comes and goes. And why is that? Because we don't have the blessings of the ancestors. I said it again. And I'm going to continue to say it because it's so, so important. So this day, Masimaga or Masimagam is the day marked by the brightest star in Leo constellation, the sign of Leo in the zodiac. And it's the birth star is called Magha. And in the Tamil month of Masi, which is between February and March, and it is when this special cosmic energy fills the earth plane so we can align with the cosmos. We can get a divine Wi-Fi connection, super fast, quick, bang on, there it is, and we are communicating. So it enables us to increase abundance and helps to elevate the souls of the ancestors. So this once in a year event helps us to magnify the prosperity and royalty consciousness. This star energy carries the qualities of a king or a queen, royalty consciousness. And Masimagam is the day that also supports us to seek the blessings of the ancestors, as the presiding deity of Maga is the Pitris. So Maga star has this quality that will allow us to access our ancestors, the Pitris, and they will be able to sit on the throne and say, yes, you can have the kingdom. The kingdom is yours. What do you want? What do you need in your life? So how we will honor these ancestors is through understanding this scriptural significance. So knowledge is power. It empowers us to be alert and to understand, wow, there is some truth to that. I'm not really sure what it's all about, but I can relate to it. So according to the scriptures, when Brahma, the creator god or archetype, understood Shiva's plan to recreate the universe after destruction, he asked about the methodology to recreate the world. So Shiva asked Brahma to fill a kumbha, a pot, with amrit, or this ambrosia, this divine elixir of life, of immortality. It makes you to heal your body, your mind, your soul. And so the source energy for creating the world is in this pot with this amrit, this elixir of life, and placed it on top of Mount Meru. So this is a sacred mountain, and Brahma requested Shiva to begin the creation activity from the place called Kumbakonam. So Kumbakonam, as I've mentioned in previous Powertime practices, is this temple city. There's like 1,000 temples in about a 30 or 35 5 square mile radius. So there's a temple on every street corner, just like there's a Starbucks on every street corner here in the West. There's a temple. And what is a temple? It's a vortex of spiritual energy where the divine came in and said, we need to create this platform or a landing pad for the divine to come in. And so that people will come and connect with these beings, that will just tap into this portal of energy. And anyone who has been to Kumbakonam, this town of temples, you just start to come near off the highway, you come near to the outskirts, and then you get in and you immerse yourself and you are spinning in this spiritual energy that really cleanses the body, mind, and soul, cleanses the karma. So this creation activity was in this sacred temple city, Kumbakonam, where he found the pot on Magasar Day in the Tamil month of Masi. So Masi Magam is an ideal day to wash away painful karma and curses. Oh my God. When is this going to end? I feel so cursed. That's what people say. How come bad things always happen to me? I can't seem to come out of them. Just when I think that I'm getting ahead, something comes and wipes out my bank account or causes problems in my relationship or my health goes down. This is the restless ancestors, those souls who are in a purgatory type state. And they can't seem to shake out of that. So we feel their shaking. We feel their stuckness because we share their genes. We share their DNA, as Dr. Pillai calls it, soul genetics. So there's the biological genetics and there's also the soul genetics. So there's also spiritual masters and divine beings who we are related to as well. In lifetimes we come and we learn from them, or maybe we have been the teacher of those souls. And so they are going to help us to own that spiritual kingdom within. And that is the highest intelligence, miracle consciousness. So we can break free of the karmas, and that would be a miracle. So this is a great day to get rid of the curses, get rid of painful karma, start fresh, lead a healthy life with the blessings of the ancestors. So again, according to the sacred texts, offering your sincere prayers with prescribed ceremonies on Masi Magam can bestow a lot of benefits. And what are they? So you can get the blessings from your ancestors first and foremost, because we're trying everything in life. And we've stumbled across Dr. Pillai's teachings. And we've stumbled across the services, the remedies, the spiritual remedies that are available, that we have been participating with, that we haven't been able to receive the full benefits of them. The investment is still there. It's the return on our investment that we want now. We don't want to wait anymore. So this is a power time where we're going to walk through energetically, spiritually, and cleanse the soul and relieve the ancestors of their sufferings. And then when we do that, they're like, okay, what do you want? I can bless you like crazy in all areas of your life because they're so free. So you can enjoy good health and wealth and knowledge, spiritual knowledge, as well as theoretical knowledge, academic knowledge. If you're students or if you're doing studies, you can have a breakthrough in that. You won't have to study so hard because you will get blessings from your ancestors. They will just pump thoughts into you to answer the question and do it in a very intelligent way and a super easy, fast way. So you don't have to struggle. So it helps also with technology. Oh my goodness, we all have so much technology, and yet do we know how to work these phones of ours and computers and iPads and tablets and all the technology in the car and in our household appliances and so on? It's just endless technology wherever we go, and it's overwhelming when we don't get it. So those thoughts will come from our ancestors who are in these spiritual realms, and they can just help to make your finger to point on the button and choose the right one. They can also help to protect you, so they can be your anti-virus from a health perspective, so they can protect you from coronavirus. They can protect you from any kind of insult or assault to the physical body. Also, if you are experiencing depression, COVID fatigue is making us to feel really mentally out of sorts. And we just are scratching our heads, like, what is going to happen? So much uncertainty. So the ancestors will say, hey, no way. Hey, I've been through wars. I've been through famine. I've been through all kinds of endemics, pandemics, things like that. So you will be protected. You will be immune to it. Even financial crisis, or if our ancestors are happy, they can find ways for us to come out of our problems, our challenges. So helping to get rid of the curses caused by mistreating priests. Who did that? We did, through our ancestors. Even though we went to church or we went to temple or mosque or wherever we went to honor our tradition, the gods or the goddesses of our tradition, and we were as good as gold, but yet the priests are not able to give the full blessings to us when we do our spiritual practices, if we visit those places. So did we mistreat them? No, our ancestors did. And when we show up to those places, or we do our own practices, we will feel the curse of those priests who are no more, or maybe they're here in this lifetime, and we're not in communication with them. But they can be pinging us spiritually or psychologically. So those kind of evil eyes are coming at us, even though we don't see them. Can be we have mistreated our ancestors, have mistreated priests or priestesses in some other lifetimes as well. So how do we know all these problems that are happening? Just look at your life. Look where the blocks are, or look where those patterns are. Mental, emotional problems, psychological problems, people with mental illness, or they're suffering from being diagnosed with mental illness, and yet they aren't, but they are having to suffer from schizophrenia or from some psychosis, or even they can be criminals, and they really don't want to be, and yet they are. So addictions, people who are addicted to drugs or alcohol or sex or any kind of addiction, going at workaholics can be it can be an addiction. So you're losing touch with the rest of your life. You're just so focused on that, and not paying attention to any other aspect of your life, whether that's people in your life or your health or your well-being. It can be you don't pay attention to your finances, and then you don't have a roof over your head, or you can't pay your bills. So it's a real pain for everyone all around. So you want to get rid of these curses, and this is the time, Masimaga is the time to wash away that kind of suffering. And even if you aren't addicted, you may see it in your family, or you may have family members who suffered or are suffering from mental illness. And also health, chronic long-term health problems that don't seem to have a medical solution or even a natural solution. So naturopathy is not helping, and allopathy is not helping. So it's a lot of suffering, a lot of wasted energy, time, resources, money, job, relationships. People really struggle. It might even be you. So when you do honor the ancestors, they not only help you, they help everyone in your gene pool. So if you had a curse from a Vedic scholar. So someone who said, hey, this is the natural way to live, and your ancestors or you yourself, dissed them, you disrespected them. They can carry heavy curses. Oh yeah, watch this. And so you don't want to do that. And we know because we have this certain knowingness. So when you participate in these Masimaga services, or you do your Torpanam at home, we're going to talk about that in a minute, and you do your prayers and chanting, and you just take some time on this day to really commune with those ancestors, pray for their souls, ask for forgiveness. You may not even know exactly what the heck happened. You may know bits and pieces. You may know nothing at all, but you will feel it inside of you, and you will just be heaving with, all kinds of grief and sorrow and anger and frustration and upset. So it will come to a head. It will be a peak experience if you're aware. And that's a good thing, because we want it to come up to the surface, to be released finally from our being. Otherwise, we won't know if it happened or not. So cleansing negative energy and filling your life with positivity. So people may have these fabulous looking lives, although internally they're just never satisfied. And they're very super critical or hypercritical of themselves or others. They always are looking at the negative side of life. Or they will say, oh, well, when things go good, just around the corner, things are going to be bad. So they manifest that, and yet they don't need to. But that's the ancestors pushing them to have that kind of negative mindset. So we can cleanse that and create more optimism. More opportunities will come your way, and you'll be grabbing that. You won't say, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not good enough. I'm not skilled enough. I'm too old. I'm this, I'm that. And you miss. So you miss out on those opportunities that could have taken your life on an adventure that really injects you with vitality and happiness and joy and wonder. So when you get cleansed of that negative energy, then you will feel that optimism. You'll feel the positivity, and you'll see the opportunities, and not only see it, feel it, you will grab it and enjoy it. So granting happiness and peace of mind, who doesn't want that? So there are these fabulous services that are offered through Pillai Center Ashurved. There's this Shankara Narayana fire lab. So Shankara is a form of Vishnu, and Narayan is Shankara is a form of Shiva, and Narayan is a form of Vishnu. And together they come together as this duo to cleanse negative karma and fill your life with abundance, love, success, and ensure overall well-being. So this divine duo is manifested in this image here. Not sure if you can see it. Let me see if I can just arrange this a bit. There we go. So there we are. All right, I'm going to get you a little bit up close. So this is a trident, and this represents Shiva energy. And then this is a discus, a chakra, and it represents Lord Vishnu's energy. So half of this image here, this archetypal, the statue, is Lord Shiva. And then the other half is Lord Vishnu. And you can see Lord Vishnu has his Gada, it's a divine club. And so what this image represents is this ability to destroy negativity and manifest a really good time. So we can cleanse our body, our mind, our soul with this purification through participating in a fire lab for Shiva and Vishnu together. Shankara Narayana fire lab. So Shankara Shiva, Narayana Vishnu. So that was something that was energized many years ago and sent to me because I had participated in this Masimaga at that time. So again, if you feel like you haven't experienced success continuously, not just once or twice, we want it forever and ever and ever. And not success in only material pursuits or manifesting our goals. We want to feel like we're getting off the bed, we're full of vitality every morning. We're going to, off to do whatever it is that we're doing. Everyone in our family is happy. Our extended family, they're doing well. Everyone has their karmas, but everyone has a positive vibe, a positive outlook, and there's faith, and there's not bickering and fighting. And then it extends into your social circle. Your neighbors are happy because this is energy that is divine. It creates a vortex in you. So you are living and breathing this energy that will wipe out the karmas, and then also to help the ancestors. Vishnu is the guardian, if you will, of the ancestral realm in the heavens. So he says, he's like Dr. Pillai shares that Lord Vishnu is a party god in heaven. So he loves to have grand galas for the ancestors. He says, hey, all ancestors, get into heaven. This is a great time. No more suffering. You've done enough of that. So when we honor these two divine beings who come together as one unit, then this unification of energy manifests inside of us, purifies us, and helps the ancestors to party on. And when they are, guess what? We are. So it ensures this overall success, well-being, love, and helps you to be in love with your relationships, all your family relationships. Get rid of the bickering and fighting and all the problems that everyone is having. So there's also a puja that's going to be done for Shankara, Narayana, and then a puja to Parvati. And according to this temple legend, Parvati, who is Lord Shiva's wife or consort, she performed penance to Shiva and to Vishnu to prove both as equal in power. So they both joined together in the form of Shankara Narayana and gave the darshan, the spiritual blessings to Parvati. And performing this puja at this power spot will grant us unity, harmony, and help us to lead a contented life. So harmonious relationships, we long for that. And not just in our family, in our neighbors or community, it's at work or school or wherever it is where people are gathering. We want to be relatable. We want to have harmonious interactions with one another. Not that you're going to sing and dance and party. You just want to be able to be saying the right thing at the right time, acting the perfect way, such that you're uplifting others with your presence, your ability to pull in that divine energy in that moment where it is transformational. And so what could be a really yucky experience, it just doesn't exist. It gets blown out of the ether, and all your relationships with one another are blessed. And you even begin to say, God bless you. And you hear people saying, God bless you. It's amazing. So what is that? It's the ancestors. They're not just going to be pinging you at your DNA level. They're going to be pinging the people who you're interacting with. So Shiva and Parvati at Magha Nakshatra power spot, according to the legend, presiding deity Shiva, as grants darshan to his devotees while performing this cosmic dance. So performing this puja at the power spot can remove delays in marriage. So it's a great way to get the dancing Shiva's blessings to help you to find a good marriage partner. Or if you're in a marriage or in a relationship and it's just going downhill, it's flat, it's even worse than flat. It is painful for both parties. So this marriage will be, the delay of happiness will be stopped. You will all of a sudden, you will start to feel this creation of harmony and pleasantness in one another, and you will gain that love and respect for one another, not in the human way, which is kind of conditional. I'll do this for you if you do that for me. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. If you wash the dishes, then I'll do this. It's not like that. You will have this divine energy that comes in and just balances things out, and you'll be like, I didn't even say anything and he's washing the dishes. Or taking out the trash or whatever it is. And all those little things in life, that's where the bickering and fighting comes from. It's not the big things. You get through the big things, it seems, because it kind of shocks you into, whoa, we got to do something. It's the little things, the everyday little things that add up and they build up, either resentment, bitterness, fighting, or it can be tremendous joy and happiness. You're like, whoa, pinch me. This is awesome. So it also helps you to find a marriage partner again, grants childbirth. So if you haven't been able to conceive, you have fertility problems, or there are fertility problems in your family, your kids, or whoever it is, that can be removed because it's a curse that's coming through. So the curse has to be removed. This is where it gets erased, and then the destiny changes. So you may excel in dance and grant relief from debts. So this dancing Shiva is a really powerful boon giver, will help to create all these wonderful things as it pertains to marriage and relationship and getting boons and so on. So Sarangapani is this power spot where Vishnu incarnated as Varaha. We've heard of Varahi being the goddess of the golden age. Well, her consort is Varaha. So for those of you who need to have a little refresher, or you've never been introduced to Varahi or Varaha, it has a boar-headed being. It's an archetype with a boar head, and it has these tusks. So it gets to the root. It will dig down into your soul energetically and root out those weeds that have been choking the plant or the beautiful garden. So this avatar on Masimagam will save the earth from the underworld challenges and the problems and the negativity. So performing this special puja to Vishnu on this day as Varaha can help you to realize wishes and fulfill your desires. So how many of us have unfulfilled desires? Oh my God. Almost every day, if not every day, and then some. On and on and on, our whole life, unfulfilled desires. So that will get erased because we will choose things in our lives, people in our lives, situations in our lives, thoughts that will be fulfilling and rewarding all around. It will be a win-win situation. So there's going to Kumbeshwara temple, this big, huge temple. Kumbha again means this pot of the life, the creation, the seeds of life is at this temple where the Shiva is. And the Shiva and Parvati power spots are Kumbeshwara power spot, and then this Vishwanathar temple. So this Kashi Vishwanathar temple is going to give the child boons, again, remove marriage obstacles and cleanse the sins leading to salvation. So what is salvation? It means to come out of our problems, be free of suffering. We need to come out of it. And who's really suffering? Our ancestors. Do we know it? No. But I'm going to remind you, pray to your ancestors, honor your ancestors. And this time coming up is a full moon, and you're not going to miss it because you can see that full moon, big round moon in the sky. And that will remind you, oh yes, this is the time to honor the ancestors. So there's Maga Star has a strong relationship to Ketu, the influence of the moon. It's the south node of the moon. It's not a planet, it's a planetary influence. And what it does is it doesn't have a head, it's the tail of this celestial snake. So the Kundalini energy is going up through our spine, and then it's rocking our chakras, but it's so spiritual. It can't, it doesn't know where it's going. So it will help you to straighten your energy, keep you focused on your spiritual path, get blessings from spiritual beings, and also masters or teachers, whether they're here or on the other side. And then you will also be detached from all the karma. So Ketu doesn't have a head, so it's easy to just move away from situations that are poisonous or poisoning your mind. So the moon represents the mind, desires, nurture, your ability to nurture yourself. So you'll be able just to detach from that which has caused you suffering. So why it's associated with Magha star is there's always a planetary influence, a major planetary influencer with the different birth stars. So Ketu, Lord Ganesha is the overlord of Ketu. So Ketu and Lord Ganesha love to be honoring or be honored during Masa Magha because they rule that star. And so Ganesha, he has the ability to give you success. He's always trying to give us success. He puts obstacles in our way, so we'll pray to him, and he also takes them out of the way. So there are two very powerful spots. Again, Naga is snake, and dosha means affliction. So Naga dosha can be removed. So this Ketu dosha, which comes through the ancestors as well. So Rahu and Ketu, they also represent curses from our ancestors, especially snake-like or poisonous type of backbiting, bickering, sneaky people who cheat you. They've cheated your ancestors, or your ancestors cheated them, and you got cursed. You carried the sins forward. And good thing you did, because now if you participate in this service and honor the ancestors during Masa Magha every year, you will free them up from these challenging curses. So to get rid of the afflictions, and then it will help you again to come out of relationship problems, especially marital related problems, or if you can't get a marriage partner or a partner in life, then it will be relieved. So you also get rid of Rahu affliction, remove debts, wedding obstacles, impediments in life. So again, it's almost like getting you ready, because here, at least in the West, we have marriage season is usually springtime and in the summer. So this is the time to spring ahead and then be joyful in the summertime and with your marriage partner or your life partner. Can also be marriage and business partnerships, because if you're in business with someone, you're with them for a long time. You want it to be, because you want that business to be really successful for a long time. Or it can be that you're working with people in a company, and that can be for a long time, or your clients, or anyone that you're working with on a day-to-day basis, whether that's for money-making purposes or you're just relating to them. Can be best friends that, end up with afflictions. Your best friend for a while, and then all of a sudden it just gets wiped out. Like, what happened? Where did that love go, that unconditional love, that ability to lean on that person? It got ripped out because the ancestors are saying, no, you don't get to have this kind of friendship even for a lifetime. Maybe the person passed and you're grieving. So it will take away the grieving, the suffering, the pain, the agony, the arguing, the fighting. And you just can't get your head around it, and you can't get enough counseling or therapy to fix it, or you can't chant enough mantras. It's all invested time and money, and you will get it back. And then some. So that's the blessings of this particular Archana at the Ketu in those two power spots, Rahu and Ketu. So Nataraj is the dancing Shiva, and it helps to connect deeply with the divine energy of Shiva. And he performing this with sincere devotion can dissolve bad karmas, enhance your spiritual growth and enlightenment. So people who say, okay, you know what, I'm done with life. I've got a roof over my head. I've got enough finances. I'm financially able to sustain a certain lifestyle for the rest of my life. All good. Now I'm just going to go forward on my spiritual path. And why am I stuck? And you can't do enough to come out of it. Well, this is what it is. You got to do the dance with the Nataraj, the Lord Shiva, the dancing Shiva. And then he will help you to go towards your spiritual path, enlighten yourself, enlighten your load, and strengthen your life with powerful, positive energies. This is the cool thing that you can do if you participate in these services that are offered through Pillai Center Ashvad. And I love this because you'll get this returned to you. Hopefully with COVID, it might take longer because it always gets stuck somewhere along the way from India to wherever you are. It does eventually arrive at your doorstep, and you just got to be patient. So this immersion and offering of the copper sheet engraved with your birth chart. It's all about you. This is your signature. This is your blueprint. This is your DNA, spiritually speaking. And so it's where all the planets align when you were born. So this is going to be engraved or embossed on this copper sheet. And then this copper sheet will be put into this special tank at Kumbakonam. So this Kumbakonam sacred tank is, according to the scriptures, on Masimagam Day, the river goddess Ganga purifies all water sources. So there's a bunch of different sacred rivers. The water comes from these sacred rivers. It gets dumped into this tank. It's a temple tank of water. And it's huge. It's acres. And then all this water gets put in and it gets mixed in. And then what the temples do, I'm not sure if it's all the temples, but there are main temples where they take the main images, the statues of their particular temple, and they go and they dunk them in this tank. So we get to dunk our inscribed birth chart on this copper sheet. And then it goes into that tank and it gets all the spiritual blessings. And then it's like the goddess Ganga herself. It's cleansing of the sins. So the Ganga River is the sacred river. And it is something that you don't understand it. And how can that be? It's a spiritual realm. That's what it is. So if you get this done for yourself, it relieves you of your sins and from adverse effects of the planets. So if you're undergoing adverse planetary effects that are blocking your progress, then you will also get the blessings of those planets. There's still going to be an influence, but you will get blessings because your birth chart has the planets placed in places where you want to do whatever you need to do in those areas of your life to pay back the sins that you committed in some other lifetime, plus your ancestors that you inherited, and you're taking it along with you. Did you sign up for it? No. But you're going to have to do it. So if you participate in this, then it gets dunked in, it gets sent to you. When you get this copper plate back, oh my God, it is like you hold on to it, you put it in your puja room or your prayer room. You can take it with you, you can put it in your wallet or your purse to remind you the sins, all that negativity is washed away. So it acts like a spiritual talisman, if you will, or a protector of negativity. So it can relieve you from ongoing problems. So that's what it is. Now, I wanted to share about Tarpanam. So now that we've shared about, hey, this is how you can get rid of the sins if you participate in those paid services, totally up to you. I would recommend it. Or do whatever you can. So this is called tarpanum, and I'm just going to show you here up close and personal. So you can see in this plastic container, there are some black seeds, and then there are some little pieces of cut darba grass. So this is like a dried grass. It's usually a couple of feet long, but I cut it up in just small little pieces. And then there are some rice grains in there. Can be wild rice. It can be some white rice. It can be different kinds of white rice too. It can be cooked or it can be uncooked. So we use uncooked as per Dr. Pillai. And then also there's rice powder if you'd like. So you can use black sesame seeds. If you don't have black sesame seeds, you can order them online, or you can get them in a grocery store, an international aisle, or you can get it in like a puja store or an Indian food store in your area. So they have the black sesame seeds, and you can just put it in your right hand, a small amount, and then take a coin. So any denomination of a coin. So I have one here. It's a quarter. And you just put it in your hand and put a little bit over top of it. So like a coin-sized amount, like that, right there. There we go. So that's what you're going to do. And then you're going to, after you take a shower, you're going to, and it has to be between sunlight hours. So after sunrise and before sunset. And then you take your shower and you just put this, you can have this plastic container even in your bathroom or in your shower, put the lid on it. It's waterproof, sealed away. And then you just can hold it under the tap, put a few sprinkles of the water, and then you can just be saying, please take this offering. This is called tarpanum. It's the food for the ancestors. It's what allows them to be relieved of the sins that were committed by them or other generations of ancestors. So you take it, and with sincere, heartfelt prayers, you just offer it to the south direction, and then put it under the shower after you say, please take this, be at peace, and bless everybody, including myself, and help me with my problem today. So there's so many different versions. Then you just simply wash it away with the shower, go down the drain. Make sure that you have a drain catcher so it can catch the rice. Otherwise, you're going to start growing it in your drain. Not a good idea. So then you can just take it and then throw it away or throw it outside, or you can even offer the tarpanum outside, or if you're near an ocean or a river and you want to go do the tarpanum offering, you can do that as well. So some people on these power times for the ancestors, like Masimaga, they actually go and do 108 offerings all at once, one after the other, and they feel the cleansing of their body, mind, and soul, their genes. They feel the ancestors are appeased. They're shaking. There's all kinds of things going on. So do it in a place that's very discreet and that you're going to have time to do it, because it does take a little bit of time to do 108 offerings of the tarpanum. So you can check out the different links that Radha will post to the chat here, or you can go on to Pillai Center Practice previous YouTubes of Masi Magam, or anything that is related to the ancestors or tarpanum. And I usually have done one of those, if not many, of the ancestor or tarpanum offerings. So that's what I wanted to share about this Masimagam, this time to get blessings, and not just ancestor blessings for marriage and so on. It's to feel that high self-esteem, to feel the respect that you've longed for, to be able to respect everyone else. It's tough. if you feel jealous or envious, or you feel like, why do they have it all and I don't, and I'm more intelligent, or maybe you feel like you're not intelligent. Maybe you feel like you aren't good enough. Maybe you feel like you're poor. Maybe you feel like all the things that are to people who have with that, you suffer and you can't come out of it. And you say, oh, I'm not jealous, I'm not envious, but you're suffering. And so that creates kind of a negative energy that comes back at you, and it just stays, it stews and stirs inside of you. And so why is that? Because the ancestors are doing that to you. They have struggled. Listen, all of our ancestors lived during the world wars. Didn't matter what lifetime, but it was always world wars going on in the previous lifetimes. A lot of problems, a lot of suffering. And even now we're suffering from this pandemic situation, where it's not just the coronavirus we're worried about. It's now some other strain is coming in. The bubonic plague the virus for that has somehow resurfaced lately. Oh my God. So these things are happening, where we don't understand. There's a karma that goes on geographically speaking, even down south in Texas, the hot state in the US, has been hit with the ice storm and the power outages and freezing temperatures. It's super crazy. So these things that are happening are because there's restless souls there that need to be appeased. So there are ancestors who we may have moved away from the place of our ancestors, the countries of our ancestors. Wherever we go, there they are going with us. So that place is struggling or suffering. We feel it. So it's not just spiritual, it is actually happening. And then that negative congested energy blocks us materially, spiritually, health-wise, and so on, relationship-wise. So the main areas of our life get impacted. So doing the Tarpanam daily can really help, and especially if you do it on Masimaga, the star that will help you to raise to the level of sitting on the throne with your ancestors who are with that royalty consciousness and have the ability to help you to come out of harms and hurdles, because they have that high intelligence. They have that high self-esteem, that they're respected in the spiritual realm. So whenever that happens and you get to go places and do things, you just be, pinch me, how is this happening? So there will be ways out of your challenges, and this is how you can find the way. As Dr. Pillai says, you may not understand it. You may not have been raised in it. Trust me, I wasn't raised in it, and I do it. You can also participate in year-long Tarpanam that is honoring the ancestors and will help you to come out of those harms and hurdles. And then all these times that the ancestors are being honored during these special new moons. This is a full moon, so this is a little bit different, and it aligns with the Maga star during the Masi month. And there are other new moon times, power times, including Mahalaya, the time of the ancestors, the fortnight of the ancestors, where they all come to the earth plane. So Masimaga, these ancestors are coming to the earth plane because they're hovering somewhere. Dr. Pillai will say they're even hanging upside down, or if they don't have royalty consciousness, they're probably in some dungeon somewhere, some prisoner way of existing. And then you will feel that too. You'll feel like you're locked down like everyone else, but you feel like a prisoner. More so, you've lost your freedom. There's no freedom. You've lost the ability to communicate effectively with people. So you get misunderstood. Everything that you say gets twisted around. You're like, what? How do I get out of this? And I never get my way, or when is it my turn? So if any of that resonates with you, or you're going through many challenges, including addictions. You can't come out of it. You've been working and working and working at it. Some level, the ancestors are saying you can't come out of this until you do this, participate in this tarpanam and participate in Masimaga. So what else can you do to honor your ancestors at home? You can meditate. And we're going to do that because that's what we do every Saturday. Saturday is the day that's honored, that we can honor Lord Saturn, who also delivers very challenging karma. So if you stumbled across Power Time practice or you participate in Power Time practice as much as you can all these years, you're not only finding out all the cool stuff that's happening at Pillai Center and Astrovid, is that you are also dumping a lot of karma. So anything you do spiritually on a Saturday, you have just erased a bunch of stuff that you wouldn't have been able to do any other day. So Saturn is the king of karma, and then he always loves it when you get rid of karma by participating in a spiritual practice. So that's what we're going to do now. So when you are ready in your space, you will know because your eyes will be closed and you'll be going internally. You'll be shutting your phone off, or at least putting it off to the side. Turn off your alarm like mine just went off, because it's indicating it's time for meditation. So Dr. Pillai's spiritual guidance will be with everyone. I will just be moving my mouth and sounds will be coming out of it. The energy and the intelligence and the grace and the blessings are going to be coming from Dr. Pillai, activating the intelligence of your soul. So the intel, like computers, is inside. And that's what we want to do, is connect with the teachings, the practices, the mantras through Dr. Pillai's grace and blessings, and also the blessings of your ancestors. So we'll go through a bit of a guided meditation, and then we will honor Vishnu and Lord Shiva, and then also we will ask for mercy and compassion. So let's get started. Closing your eyes and putting your attention internally. We are going to go with our attention, our awareness, to the base of the spine, into the tailbone area, and also down the legs, into the feet, and into the toes, even into the ground. So imagine you're grounding yourself, feeling very stable. Even if you're not standing, you're sitting or you're lying down is fine. So your eyes are closed and you're going internally, and all your attention has gone down, right down to your feet and into the ground, and you feel connected to Mother Earth. And feel the energy of the earth right to the core of the earth. It's fire, purifying, and sending that energy back up through the bottoms of your feet, the soles of your feet. Interesting, the soles of your feet. That's the entry point to your access your inner world, the soul inside of you. And then move up into the ankles, up the shins and calves. Hang out there for a moment. And then up into the knees. The knees carry stubborn karma. That's why we kneel down when we pray. We want to break the karma in the knees. And the knees help us to move forward. They help us to be flexible. So if we feel really achy and pain in our knees, there's inflexibility in that. Dr. Pillai says the ego is in the knees. Move up the thighs, front and back, and then even into the pelvic region and a little bit up into the navel center as well, in the belly. So this awareness of an energy moving up and down the legs, cleansing internally and also in your aura, is ruled by Ganesha, Ganaisha, this god of these guardians who will help you to come out of stubborn obstacles, find you shortcuts. Reddish orangish light pouring down your legs into your feet and toes. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Nirvignam Kuru Kuru. Now, imagine a ray of light shooting up your backbone of your subtle body that corresponds with your spine, the backbone in your physical body. This ray of light pierces all the chakras, the energy wheels, stacked up on top of one another in your spine. This light shoots up through the brain and the top of the skull and goes up into the space. And now we'll focus on enlivening the chakras starting at the base of the spine. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest. Move up to the throat, clear the throat. Move up to the middle of the brain, third eye. Float back down to the base of the spine and also down the legs into the ground. Connect with the earth element. Na, 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 na. Move up to the navel, the belly. Fill it with water. Ma, 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 ma. Move up to the heart center, middle of the chest, also down the arms and hands, fingers. Set them on fire. She. Move up to the throat, the mouth, the nostrils. Connect with the air element or prana, the subtle air. Va, 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 va. Move up to the two eyeballs. Keep them steady and still. Focus on the right and left brain. Connect with the ether, the akash or space. Ya, 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 ya. Now, imagine Dr. Pillai appearing before you in a form you're familiar with or a vast light. That is being transmitted from Dr. Pillai's image to your body, mind, soul. Soak it up like a sponge from head to toe. Receive the light, the spiritual transmission. Receive it in your eyes. Your eyes light up with rays of light, burning the karma in your eyes. Two beams of light enter the eardrums, piercing them. The light goes inside the head and lights it up. The brain lights up. Two beams of light shoot up the nostrils. A beam of light enters the mouth. The tongue lights up. The inside of the mouth begins to expand, receiving this light. A beam of light pierces your forehead, enters the pituitary, lights it up, enters the pineal in the middle of your brain, lighting it up. The whole brain lights up, and a beam of light comes from above, piercing the top of the skull, making its way into the brain. The neurons are firing. The whole nervous system in the body fires up with this light from head to toe. Once again, connect with this image of Dr. Pillai. Soak up the spiritual transmission, the light that will change your destiny, that you inherited from your ancestors. Washing the sins of the forefathers and foremothers, those who've gone before us. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Om Dram Dattatreya Shiva Baba Namaha. Now, imagine Lord Shiva getting inside of all those chakras with the sounds Ah, U, Ma, Om, Na, Ma, Shi, Va, Ya. Cleansing your body, mind, and soul, allowing you to be free of pain and suffering and all negative karma. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Receive the sounds in your right eye, along with the light of Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Move to the left eye. Receive the light and the sounds. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Move to the right ear. Pierce the eardrum with the light and the sounds. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Left ear. Pierce the eardrum with the light and the sounds. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Move into the nostrils, the right and left nostril. Receive the light, shooting up the nostrils with the sounds. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Move into the mouth. Feel the tongue lighting up the inside of the mouth and the tongue. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Now move into the third eye, the forehead, and then into the middle of your brain. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Now from the top of the skull, pierce the skull bone with the light and the sounds entering the brain. Spin the sounds in your brain. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Now feel the whole body lighting up from head to toe with the light and the sounds. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Now imagine the trillions of cells, the DNA in those cells, being cleansed and washed with the light and the sounds from head to toe. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Once again, connect with the light or the image of Dr. Pillai, radiating spiritual energy towards you. You're soaking it up. And focus your attention on your heart. Imagine Lord Vishnu in your heart, beautiful blue being, ready to fulfill your wishes. Lord Vishnu fulfills wishes, especially money wishes. So pray for money miracles, receive the blessings in your heart. Om Namo Narayanaya. 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 Now, Move up to your brain. Imagine looking up inside your brain and even up into the sky. Receive a powerful transmission of light, grace light, that is the most merciful and compassionate, forgiving light. It's present everywhere. It's pouring into your crown chakra, cleansing you from poverty consciousness, giving you royalty consciousness, blessings from your ancestors and spiritual beings. Your whole body lights up with this arul. Receive it, soak it up all the way down to your toes and the bottoms of your feet and back up, all around you. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Taniparam Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti. Feel the scalp tingling. Maybe the light has gotten in, the brain is pulsing, front, back, sides, inside. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Taniparam Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti. Feel the third eye pulsing. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Taniparam Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti. Your whole head lights up. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Taniparam Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti. Your neck, your throat, your shoulders, your chest, your upper back, your arms and hands and fingers. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Taniparam Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti. All the organs are filled up with this light, your heart, your lungs, your stomach, your liver, your gallbladder, your pancreas, your guts, down into the reproductive organs, the organs of elimination, your back, your front, your sides of the body. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Taniparam Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti. Release grief, suffering, pain, mourning, loss, anger, frustration, depression, any negative congested energies stuck in your organs. Squeeze it out with the sounds and the light. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Taniparam Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti. The light continues down the pelvic region into the legs and all the way into the feet and toes. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Taniparam Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti. The whole body is pulsing, tingling, goosebumps. Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Taniparam Karunai, Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti, Arutparam Jyoti. Once again, embrace the light coming from Dr. Pillai's form, his image, the transmission getting into the pores of your skin, inside, outside, all around. Cleansing your body, your mind, your soul. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul. Peace to the environment, peace to the world. And relax. You can keep your eyes closed for as long as you like. You can carry on if you'd like. Go deeper into the practice. Or you can come back to yourselves. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So that's what it is. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. This Power Time practice brought to you by Dr. Pillai and all the divine beings, including your ancestors who are saying, heads up, full moon coming up next week, or this week ahead. And it is going to be Eastern Standard Time on the 26th, Masi Maga. So get the blessings from Dr. Pillai. And if you can participate in the paid services, please do, because you will get a return on your investment for sure. So make sure that you also pray for, send prayers out to those who need it the most. If you can, be charitable, donate your time, your energy, money, because your ancestors perhaps they didn't do that either. So being on this path with Dr. Pillai tells us, okay, this is why you got the bad stuff going on. This is how you can remedy it. That's the most important thing. So we need to do what the ancestors couldn't do. So if they weren't able to be charitable, or they just didn't have that kind of consciousness, then it might be something, regardless of your donation, you will know. God only knows what you can or cannot afford. And you should never break the bank, as Dr. Pillai says, but try it out. If you have a charity that you donate to, it's a good time to do it on Masimaga or around that time. Anytime is a good time, but Masimaga, you're going to say, this is for my ancestors, the curses that are coming from my ancestors because they didn't do this. Now I can do it because I'm sharing their genes and they're saying, hey, do this. And what will happen is you'll come away from that experience and you'll just be like, whoa, how did that open the doors for me? So if you don't have a favorite charity, Tripor Foundation, fabulous way. I love it because all you do is point and click. So you can go to Tripor Foundation. I love to participate in the children's programs, the education, the Hope Centers. There's elderly, feeding the elderly, taking care of the elderly. We're all going to be there one day. And who will take care of us? So we want to plant the seeds of knowing and put so much intention and awareness and say, hey, I can do this right now because I can. And what it's going to do, I don't even know these people. And when you do that, it melts the heart of the divine. So that's how it works. And how you will know, because your divine heart will melt. And as you're getting older, you're aging, you will have good health. You will have the energy. You'll have the financial resources or means to do whatever it is that you need to do. And it will just be coming out of nowhere. It will seem. However, as you're planting the seeds, it's like that you're investing in your aging process. So you're safeguarding yourself. And then you're also, which is more important anyways, is to uplift humanity. Maybe your grandparents, your ancestors, those who have passed away. Remember, your ancestors are dead people and they're part of your gene pool, or they're part of your soul genetics. Maybe you're not related, but you're biologically, but you were related at a soul level for the lifetime. And you raise those beings up who you don't even know. And those can be your ancestors. That's what you'll find out, is that those are your ancestors. And they are the ones who are in those dire situations. And then they can be relieved of their pain and suffering that they're coming to pay back the karma of the curses and afflictions and so on. So do it. You will know. You will just be in your gut. You will know. Don't do it from your thinking mind. Do it from your gut. That is your intuition. And that is how you will know you're evolving as well, because it will be the exact thing. And then not only will you do that charitable act, you will look in your life at your finances and see what your thoughts are, observe what your thoughts are around it. Or somehow some windfall came. Maybe you got an inheritance and there was no inheritance. Could be out of your family, and then it's a long lost cousin or uncle or a friend of a family who has passed away, and then that friend didn't have anyone to give, so they gave it to the kid of the kid or the friend of the kid, and you're that. That's how it works. So enjoy Masimaga, and thanks for joining. So great. People have been responding to the chat here, and I'm going to just check it out because that's what we do here every Saturday. We see what everyone's chatting about. So mostly namaste from everybody, and Radha's been posting the links to join or to check it out. Even if you can't join, oh my God, I can't afford it, that's fine. Just go read about it. And then that will give you the knowledge. So knowledge is power. Spiritual knowledge is power. Sita's saying here, my daughter is today on Masimagam, or my daughter's birthday, sorry, B-Day, it says, on Masimaga. We'll pray to ancestors to bless her. Thanks a lot. Yes, definitely. And this is why we want to get rid of these sins, because we don't want the kids to have to suffer. We want them to be able to be free so that they can help other people effortlessly who need it the most. That's what we're here to do, is keep evolving into our best versions of ourselves, and not just in a cool colloquialism. It is actually, you will be that. So Katya Singh, Namaste Suchitra, fellow students of Dr. Pillai, joining you from Vanta, Finland. Oh, is that where you're from, Katya? Cool. This is a safe space where we're supporting one another. And Radha has posted also, when you honor the ancestors, they help not just you, but everyone in your gene pool. That's the real cool thing. So again, if your family or family members are suffering from addictions, afflictions, can't get married, can't have kids, finances are a problem, health is an issue, long-term chronic diseases, like you inherit cancer and you're a healthy person, what? That's how it is. Or heart disease, you drop dead all of a sudden because some ancestor dropped dead at your age. Or you think, oh my God, somebody died of cancer, I'm going to get it. Then you go, no, 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 I'm not going to get it. And then you keep thinking you're going to get it. Who's thinking those thoughts? You don't want to, but it's your ancestors. So you have to keep cleansing, washing away the sins. Sins are just, there's mistakes. So do your tarpanam sunrise to sunset. So daylight hours, wherever you are in the world. Doesn't matter. When the sun pops up, do the tarpanam. Before it sets, do the tarpanam. Anytime in between, any number of times. Suhani is saying, beautiful statue. Now I know the significance of the picture of Lord Shiva and Vishnu coming to be some that time back. Thank you for sharing this high pious knowledge. It's from Dr. Pillai. You're welcome, Suhani. I've been participating in tarpanams and doing personally as well. My brother and my mother have received spiritual initiations. Now I know it's changing the genes, energy transferring to them. I see it. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to do spiritual practices and like, is it working? Is it helping? Why isn't it working? Why isn't it helping? So we set ourselves up to be prepared for these power times where you can walk through that door. You're prepared for the party, so to speak. You're dressed the part. You're dressed appropriately for that ceremony or that celebration. And then you get in and you're ready. You're not shocked that you're wearing the wrong thing, or your hair's not done properly, or you didn't bring the proper gift. You go to the celebration, you're ready, you know what it's about, and you receive the blessings. You're in the spirit of that energy that's happening. So being ready for the blessings from the ancestors, they're going to be pouring through. People will feel like headaches and irritability and a lot of energy, and it was like so wasted a couple of days before and a couple of days after. So don't be surprised. It's not that you're going to pop pills to get rid of the pain. It's just take care of yourself, like do self-care. So don't book yourself into too many extraneous kind of non-spiritual activities. You can stay away from meat and alcohol and cigarettes and your vices. Might be a good idea because you'll be challenging the ancestors who you inherited that from. It's not that you can't do those kinds of things. You will just start to see, hey, it's just not getting me high anymore. Or dealing with my anxiety or whatever. You're like, why do I keep doing this? It will just be removed from you. And you'll find joy in other things that will be so much more fulfilling and rewarding. No judgments. It's just check it out. So try to, if you can't, Dr. Ply says, don't torture yourself just to do your spiritual practices. If you have to eat the meat, eat it. If you have to have your drink of wine, you drink it. Fine. You can just try it, though. Challenge yourself. Shuhani is saying here, I had participated in Taipusam Tarpanam. A few days later, visited our maternal uncles and were fed sumptuous meals we loved at the four houses. Such an energetic shift. Ancestors picked through, drew my attention. So, pictures. Okay. Your ancestors' pictures drew your attention. And that's what it is. They will start to talk to us. So, not that you have to lie or do a puja to your ancestors. In fact, they say that you shouldn't because you want them to go to different realms, but you can have good and happy memories and feel joyous and connected to them. So whenever you're doing your tarpanam, don't say this is for my mother or father, whoever. You can, who has passed. If it's your direct mother and father, okay, fine. But beyond that, don't invite them in. Go. Even your mother and father say, go and ride golden chariots. That's what my mom is doing, apparently. That's what I keep getting from the priests and the Vedic specialists and also the naughty readers. They always say, you're getting tremendous blessings from your mom. Now, that to me would have been impossible because it was a torturous, arduous, painful life. And the mother-daughter relationship was non-existent and it was hateful. And I hate to admit that. Ooh. It was really crappy and the worst. And now it's joy and happiness and fulfillment and blessings. And it's showing up in the naughty readings that I have or the Vedic astrology readings. And it doesn't matter who's doing the reading. That's one of the first things they say. Although the native is moving on her spiritual path and doing these things, she's getting tremendous blessings from her mother. Her mother's soul is very happy and riding golden chariots. And I'm just like, yes, because I feel it. It's not something they're just throwing. They don't know me. They're just saying this. What? No, they're not. Her energy is coming through. And then saying, hey, thank you so much for freeing me up. I don't have to return. And that was my prayer when she passed away. Please, she's suffered enough. We've all suffered enough. Can just get her to an enlightened state. That was years and years ago. So during the Tarpanam every year, especially during these power times, has helped her and all my aunts and uncles and all those people who struggled a lot with addictions and pain and suffering and terrible, terrible things that they did that I'm not so proud to say that I was a part of. But that's just what it is. So your karma isn't about judging it. It's about cleansing it so that they can be free of it. And then you can also be free of it. So you don't pass it on to the kids or anyone. It stops here. The buck stops here or whatever that saying is. It stops. We must stop it so that you can live the spiritual life without having to die to go to the spiritual world. So that's what Dr. Pillai has guided me to do in many, many, many people for over 2 decades. For me, 25 years. And it is not something that I'm just talking about. It is for real. So do it. If you can, get into it. And then it will help you. So Suhani has said, I asked Dad to help with my stats exams last year. He helped me. I was guided to contact a person for classes and he was pleased to help me. I'm going to do it again for my exams. Okay, great. Katina is saying, thank you, Suchita, for teaching. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your light. You and Babaji forever. Thank you, Pillai Center, for your time and information. And that's what it is, that when we can come together and we can express gratitude in a space that is so supercharged with spiritual energy, guess what you get back? You get back so much more than you can imagine, because when we're full of gratitude, we're full of greatness. We're very grateful. and we're full of greatness. So greatness can only return to us. And how it does is it shows up in the life. So forever. Thank you. That's great, Katina. Nice message. Suhani is saying, thank you. Everything was so pious, spoke so much, including the psychological disease. I'm going to rewatch it. Yeah. So how to help our siblings or our family members to overcome diseases such as cancer or even arthritis or addictions, any kind of addiction, or mental illness. So harmful on so many levels to the person suffering and also to you as well. It's not easy to help them in a material way or a way here on the earth plane. So the ancestors will help those who are suffering. And that's what you can ask too on Masimaga. I don't know how to do it, but you guys do. So please go and help, so-and-so who's struggling. Okay, so I think I'm at the bottom. Susmita is saying here, love the discussion. Great. Yes, face south. Okay, so people are saying, in my tradition or my religion that I was raised in, we do our last rites for the dearly departed facing east or facing north or facing west or facing south or facing, any direction in between. Cool, do that. In the tradition that Dr. Pillai hails from, he says the ancestors are in the south or the southwestern realm. So there's a directional strength. It's kind of like they're coming in all doorways, but this is where they really come in, the big doors. So not about right or wrong, honor it as per whatever is natural to you, but try it out in the different directions, if you will. And then you will feel, oh my God, naturally drawn to the south or the southwest direction. And then that's where you will feel that you'll even see the tarpanum jumping on your hands. Okay, so Katja saying thanks for the guiding through the meditation. Blessings to you. And yes, Radha and Yagna for helping all these years on Powertime practice. Thank you so much. Okay, and Angela saying heartfelt gratitude for being part of the family, the community. Sparky Moto is saying felt a chill for the first time during a meditation. And chill means that the goosebumps or those truth bumps. And it feels like that is true for me. I connected with something from the non-physical realm. Or you can feel the pulsing in the chakras or in the inside of your brain, or your eyes are crying, your heart is expanding, or whatever. Maybe you completely lost yourself and you were just immersed in the light. Not just, that's what it is. So you don't have to die. You can be a part of the spiritual realm and stay intact physically. But go and cleanse yourself of the pain and the suffering that you've been carrying, knowingly or unknowingly. All right, so let's wrap it up. Thank you so much, everyone. You have an amazing rest of your weekend. We are going to be getting together for the Lord's Prayer program. If you have not yet joined that, you are so welcome to join it. It's going to be fabulous. We're going to learn the Aramaic version, Lord's Prayer in that course. And as Dr. Pillai has shared, when we get the Lord's Prayer in the Aramaic language that Jesus spoke, it's not because he wanted to say it. It was because that was the energy that was inside of the words. And then those get into you as you are learning it and speaking it and resonating with it. And then you've communed with the Holy Spirit. You've communed with the light body that Christ had to die for. And you erase the karma. So it's another spiritual practice. Whether you are from the Christian tradition or not, it doesn't matter. It's a spiritual technology that Dr. Pillai is inviting everyone and anyone to come and get the blessings, because, hey, that's what's happening. So that's going to be starting tomorrow, the first class, and or it's an evergreen. So if you can't join live, everything will be in Pillai Center Academy, and Radha has posted the link to the Pillai Center Academy. So check it out, read about it even, and then maybe down the road you will jump in and participate in it, or start tomorrow with us. And what else is going on? We've got we've got a great month ahead coming up, that we'll get into that next week. So for now, you've got a lot to explore. Get ready for Masimaga. Get the blessings, bless your ancestors, even starting now, where if you have daylight hours, go try it out. Go do the Tarpanam and pray for the sins to be removed, the mistakes, and then get the blessings. And ask specifically in your life, whatever day it is that you're doing it, I want the blessings in my financial area of life, my health, my relationship, and so on. Whatever it is for you, ask and you shall be given. All right. So God bless you all. We will see you when we see you next. Namaste.